Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another Infj ramble. I know I made this channel specifically for the Infj personality type, but I feel like I'm just kind of like, I feel like a lot of the videos I make are just for people in general. You know, people who are looking for answers and trying to understand. All of that aside, I should say. Today's topic is going to touch on energy vampires. What do I mean? Are you guys familiar with that term, energy vampires? If you are an empath, and if you have been on the spiritual journey for some time, and if you are aware of how energy is everything, I think you will understand that term. But for people who don't understand that term, energy vampires are basically people who siphon everyone else's energy so that they can survive. And notice I said survive, not thrive. Survive is like in a state of like lack, I suppose, where like you're trying to survive. Like every single day I'm trying to survive. Thrive is, you know, you're growing and elevating, and you are vibrant, you know, and you're just full of energy. So energy vampires. It's funny, I was thinking on this topic, and I kind of was connecting the dots. So if you think of an energy vampires obviously need a supply in order to survive, because they can't generate the energy on their own. You know, think about like vampires. They have to like prey on different like victims in order to like survive. You know, they won't be able to survive without a food source. And so like empaths become a great source of fuel for, yeah, energetic vampires. You know, because empaths are like the gift that keeps on giving until they can't give. And then they have to kind of like take themselves and isolate themselves and regenerate themselves. You know, we do have that power to regenerate, you know. That's why we spend a lot of time in isolation, in order to cleanse our energy and in order to like almost replenish ourselves, because we can do that. We aren't energetic vampires. I think that's why the dynamic is so common, you know. It's like we attract each other because we are on the opposing ends of the spectrum. However, if you can recognize energy vampires from the get-go, then you don't really have to deal with them. And I think that's the energy vampire's worst nightmare, right? Is when the empath is aware and the empath knows what their intentions are. And if I were to be completely frank, I feel like a narcissist is an energetic vampire, but it's just another name. You know, we're not calling them energetic vampires outright. We're just saying, oh, they're a narcissist, or oh, they're a dismissive avoidant, or they are emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable. Think about it, guys. Okay, if you think about yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience, right? And what animates this body? Energy. Your spirit. Your spirit is comprised of energetic fields. So energy is what animates this body. And while we animate in this world, we experience emotions. Energy in motion. You know, that's all that is. But we will label energy in motion, emotions, feelings, because that's how our body systems, what is that? Processes the energy through feelings, through the senses. You know, are you following me? Are you following me? I don't know. I totally veered off topic again, didn't I? But anyways, that's why people who are like too logical and too analytical and too in their mind and too who are how do I say, living life through their ego, and they're very disconnected from their heart, That's why it's important to listen to your heart, because that's basically how your soul translates life, right? Is through the energy, through the emotions, through the feelings that you feel. Anyways, energy vampires are disconnected from that part of themselves, you know? So they don't know how to generate energy on their own. And so they have to suck it out of people who already do that. AKA empath, AKA highly sensitive person, AKA emotionally available person. Anyways, yeah, so energy vampires, they're like a shell of themselves, and they really cannot survive without a source, you know? How do you get a source? Well, if you keep them unaware, and if you keep them under some type of mental control through mental manipulation, if you make them forget that they're the actual one that is in a seat of power and they don't need you, you know, they're probably not going to get entangled with you. They probably won't enmesh your energy with you. So yeah, narcissist, energetic vampire, whatever, they are players, and they play to control you and manipulate you so that you can become their source, their fuel. You know what I mean? But if you're aware and you recognize these things and you just don't play the game, and you can walk around in this world unscathed, unbothered, untouched. And if you encounter these people, you can just look them in the eye like this and not let them feed off of you. You know, I think to some degree, like, again, this is a mental program. This freaking, if you think about it, this isn't even in just like relationships. This is like on a like international, global level. Think about it. The government controls you, you know, through media, through music, through hearsay, through keeping you like hooked on giving attention to like low vibrational things. That's how they do it. They don't want you to like realize how powerful you are, people. They don't, you know. What else was I gonna say about energetic vampires? Yeah, man, they can't thrive, nor can they even survive without trying to suck energy off of someone else. These people are unhealed, honestly. They're absolutely disconnected from their soul, you know? So, like, they're probably not spiritually inclined, or if they are, they're using dark magic to, like, manipulate you. You know, say, like, they are attuned to their intuition, and they are attuned to, like, I don't know, like, casting spells on you. Yeah, they're just using it in a dark way because, again, they're unhealed. And they haven't learned how to generate energy on their own. They don't know how to process it. They don't know how to transmute it. They don't know how to, like, elevate themselves out of this, like, particular energetic spectrum. They're, like, kind of trapped here. You know what I mean? I also wanted to go into a conversation that I had. It had to do with somebody saying that they thought spirituality was, I'm just going to be transparent, was stupid. They're like, I don't believe in it. I don't get it. I don't believe in it. Of course you're not going to believe in something you don't get. And most people are afraid of things they don't understand. So instead of trying to understand things they don't understand, they run away from them. Or they subscribe to, like, fear. You know, fear of the unknown, you know. And this person was like, yeah, I don't know, like, spirituality. I don't know. I just think people who are spiritual are crazy. And I'm like, oh, it's probably because they understand things that you cannot even comprehend. And then they're like, well, how come I didn't like experience anything spiritual? It's like, well, I think people who are spiritually inclined have gone through a lot of ego deaths, and they've also come out on the other side as survivors, and they also have the courage to like push through dark times. They have the curiosity to try to understand what is happening, and they also like they have like this like resilience and this will to keep elevating despite how painful and how dark a situation gets. You know, they don't get stuck there. They push through it. And I feel like those are initiations that help one gain access to keys that allows you to open up higher dimensions of reality, you know, to open up higher awareness, you know. Instead, it's like a video game, you know. You have to pass all the different levels to like access different dimensions and domains of the game. Same thing, only thing, it's your consciousness, it's your awareness, it's like unlocking more gateways to your soul, to yourself, to spirit, you know. So that's why I'm just like, you know, you know, like part of me was just like, man, this person is ignorant. But then on the other side, I was just like, well, he probably doesn't know any better because he lacks experiential like things, you know. And I think a lot of people who are not as spiritual too are very, very like, I want to say, locked in the realm of material things, materialism. So that's all they focus on is like sense gratification. That's all they know. That's all they want. They're not looking beyond that. They're like completely satiated just being in the realm of materialism, you know. And for me, that wasn't enough, because when I was in that space, I literally just felt so much chaos and so much like pain. And I was just like, man, I got to figure out how to like, again, like remedy the suffering, you know. And from there, I just kind of like I said, I just kept asking questions and asking questions. And that's why like questions are like, I think, doorways to like different dimensions of yourself, because it's like when you ask questions, it's like you actually get the opportunity to explore different aspects of yourself that you would have never known before if you never asked, you know. Like, why is this happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Like, what can I do to like repair this? You know, always asking like, oh, okay, why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've always been. And yeah, people who don't get it, they don't, it's just really funny, because like for me, it's just like everything is spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything is energy. Everything is divine, you know. But I guess people who haven't acquired access to those realms haven't opened up their eye, you know, because all they're doing is using these eyes, when in actuality, the real eye is here. You know, this is the one that sees everything very clearly, you know. But of course, you can't unravel and access that space until you've unlocked the lower regions of yourself. And if you were to talk about like chakras, we have these energy chakras running through our bodies, right? Most people are stuck in their root or their sacral chakra. They haven't even gone beyond that, you know. So how are you going to access this if you haven't even gone beyond this, you know? I think currently on a collective level, like a lot of people are healing trauma in order to open the heart, which is the gateway of the soul, I feel. And then once you enter the gateway of the soul, then you have access to the higher dimensions of self, if that even makes sense. Hey man, at this point, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And you know why? You know, it's funny. I rewatch my videos sometimes, and I notice that I say that often, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Because you know what? People who proclaim to know everything don't really know anything, do they? Because they place limiting beliefs upon themselves, and they, you know what I mean? It's like, well, if I know everything, then that's that. Is that really that though? because I feel like there's more to that than that. So if you proclaim to know everything, you limit yourself. But if you proclaim to know nothing, then that thing just becomes everything. Anyways, if you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't learn anything, that's cool too. Blessings to one and all. Amen. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to be present. Don't forget to let go of everything that no longer serves you and anything that binds you to anything that is limiting. Okay, bye.